You talking about my son helping with his kids and stuff like that.
Who's in Utah? Joe?
That was his kids.
Both of the children, one of them, they both in.
Here, Tate's in New Orleans, Joe's here.
Okay.
Joe private facility.
I think they're not gonna see coming.
They do, they can do it. They really are.
Yeah.
They don't give me no trouble, they're self-supporting.
That's good.
Package little, these are all they have. You see that you have the prayer tonight. Okay. You go first, Tom. You go first. Okay.
Oh, LLCC takes it.
You know what I'm saying?
I thought they were trying to clean it all up. I thought Jake was out there every day too.
Call the meeting to order.
Please bow your head. Father God, we thank you for another day. We thank you for our health and our strength. We thank you for our mayor, the city council members, the chief of police, and everyone who came out to the Gonzales City Council meeting tonight. Father God, please help us to stay united, respectful, focused, and peaceful. Father God, I ask that you guide us to make the right decision. These things I ask in your name. Amen.
Okay, roll call, Ms. Terry.
Councilman Tyler Turner.
Here.
Councilwoman Terry Lambert.
Here.
Councilman Eddie Williams.
Here.
Councilman Kirk Weaver.
Here.
Councilwoman Cynthia Gray James.
Here.
Okay, thank you, Terry. Number 5, approve the minutes of a regular meeting of the mayor and city council taken on Thursday, January 29, 2026.
Published, Terry.
Yes, sir.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Boudreaux, second by Councilman Williams.
Okay, roll call vote. Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lambert.
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
Councilman Boudreaux.
Yes.
Councilwoman Cynthia Gray James.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Ms. Terry. Number 6 is approve the minutes of a regular council meeting of the mayor and city council taken on Monday, February the 9th of 2026.
Published.
Make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Councilman Turner, second by Councilwoman Lambert.
Okay, roll call vote. Councilman Turner.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lambert.
Yes.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
Councilman Boudreaux.
Yes.
Councilwoman Cynthia Gray James.
Yes.
Okay, for number 7. Thank you, Terry. All right, number 7 is to approve a community partnership with Loving Our Community's Children, LOCC, and we have a few speakers tonight. Ms. Candace Malonzo would like to speak. Come up, yes, ma'am, come up to the podium.
Hey, man, we'll give you 3 minutes for your statement.
Okay. All right, good evening. My name is Candace Malonzo, and I'm the current board president and one of the founders of Loving Our Community's Children, also known as LOCK. And I'm thankful for the opportunity to present to y'all tonight. Our mission is simple. It's to partner with the community to provide children and families with reliable, no-cost support that meets daily needs and fosters dignity, stability, and healing. We were founded in 2020 by a leadership ascension team. Our team wanted to create a foster closet for foster children, but we quickly realized and understood that the need was far greater than just foster children. So we decided on one goal: to ensure that children in our community have access to the basic essentials that many of us take for granted. Since opening our doors in August of 2020, we've served more than 3,200 children. We provide clothing, diapers, wipes, hygiene items, cribs, playpens, beds, and other essential supplies to families facing hardship. From the beginning, LOC was operated out of a space generously donated free of charge by Fellowship Church. Their partnership allowed us to grow and serve without diverting resources away from the children of our community. Last year, we were also blessed to expand into Donaldsonville through space generously provided by the Tomapat family. That expansion allows us to serve families on the west side of the river. However, earlier this month, the Gonzales property was sold. While we are grateful for the years we were able to serve there, we now face the need to secure a new location. We believe it's essential to maintain a facility on the east side of the river. Accessibility matters and transportation barriers are real. And the need in Gonzales is significant. Approximately 23.4% of Gonzales residents are enrolled in Medicaid and 11% live below the federal poverty line. And these are not just members, they represent children in our schools, families in our neighborhoods, and parents doing their best during difficult seasons. LOC operates entirely through donations and volunteers. We stretch every dollar, we maximize community partnership, and every resource goes directly toward serving these children. Tonight, we are respectfully asking the city to partner with us by providing space so that we can continue serving children and families on the east side of the river. We're not asking for funding, we're asking for partnership. A partnership that invests in prevention, strengthens families, and supports the most vulnerable residents of Gonzales, the children. We are grateful for the conversations that have already taken place, and we are hopeful that together we can ensure that no child in Gonzales goes without the basic essentials they need to thrive. And thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, ma'am. Any question?
I have a lot of questions, actually. You have somebody else that wants to speak?
Yeah, there's a
or-
bunch.
Yeah, we
Yes.
have a few.
Yep. You want to wait until we're all, because some of them may be answered.
I can do that. Mhm.
Okay. Next, we have Stephanie Frederick would like to speak.
Good evening. My name is Stephanie Frederick. My husband and I have been foster parents for the last 4 years. In those 4 years, we have cared for 14 children and adopted 3 precious kids. Today, I'm here to share how LOC has impacted our family and countless others in our community. LOC is not just a storage unit of goods, but it's a lifeline for foster families who are stepping up to care for our most vulnerable children. LOC provides beds, clothing, diapers, and so many other things that are critical for kids entering foster care. When a child is placed in a new home, there's little time to prepare. For foster families, this can be overwhelming, especially when they're already welcoming a child in need. LOC alleviates some of that burden and ensures that every child has what they need to feel safe and supported. Foster care truly requires a village. It's not just the responsibility of individual families, it's a community effort. LOC embodies the spirit of togetherness. It reminds us that we are all part of a solution that helps children heal and thrive. By providing essential items, LOC empowers families like ours to say yes when a child needs the most. This support is not just practical, it fosters hope and stability in the lives of children who have already faced so much adversity, no fault of their own. Foster families are often stretched thin financially and emotionally. Many of us are doing our best to provide a loving home while making every dollar count. The resources provided by LOC allow us to direct our limited finances toward other necessities, such as education, therapy for the kids, and fun activities for them to learn and grow. When we rely on nonprofits like LOC for our basic needs, it allows us to focus on what truly matters, nurturing and supporting the children we welcome in our homes. I urge each of you to consider saying yes to LOC tonight, and the families like ours they serve. Together, we can encourage our community's commitment to fostering resilience, stability, and love for our children. Each child deserves a safe and stable environment. Locke is a beacon of hope in our community, and by supporting it, we're investing in the future of Louisiana's children. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have Mr. Scotty Stafford.
Good evening. My name's Scotty Stafford. Born and raised in this city, and I'm also a founding member of Locke. I've been a certified foster home since 2011. Had the privilege of fostering over 30 kids during that time, and the privilege of adopting 4 out of the foster care system. 2 things I've learned, and one of the reasons we started this organization is that from my dealings with foster kids, is the amount of trauma that a kid deals with for the rest of their life when they're removed from a home and placed in foster care. And second is how overwhelmed our foster care system is. I see the name Turner up here, and one of the signatures on one of my adoption degrees is Alvin Turner. And no one needs to tell him how stressed our system is. And so we started Locke as a way to alleviate the stress from that system. And 2 ways we do that is by helping families like that who want to foster but don't have the means. The last current stats I looked at is we have 29 certified foster homes in Gonzales, and we have 189 foster kids. So that math does not work out. And so another way we alleviate that, and the most important way we alleviate that, is to try to intervene to keep kids out of the system. We at Locke believe that if you're being abused, physically abused, sexually abused, abandoned, neglected, then you need to be removed from that situation and put in a safe foster home. But we've also realized that there's kids being taken from a family. They may have a loving parent who's fallen on hard times. Maybe they lost a vehicle, maybe they lost a job, maybe they lost a lease to an apartment, maybe they had a traumatic event like a fire or somewhere, and they cannot provide the essential needs to their children like they once did. So in order to keep that kid out of foster care, to keep the trauma from that kid being taken from his home, we try to provide those needs while their parent tries to get back on their feet. So we appreciate the conversations, the questions, the comments. And one of the questions we've heard is that that the city feels it's not their responsibility to provide core seat or these items to kids. And we want to assure you that we're not here asking you to provide anything. We don't want you to take responsibility for any of that. We're going to provide car seats. We're not going to ask you for anything. The only thing we're asking you for is to allow us to store our things and operate it out of a space that you're utilizing today to store items in. The name on our shirt says loving our community children. We accept the responsibility for these children. We believe they are our children, the whole community's children, and we'll do whatever we can to provide those needs for them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Scotty. Next, we have Darcy Richmond.
Hi, my name is Darcy Richmond. I'm the treasurer for Locke. I've been with them volunteering for about 3 years now. Thank you very much for putting us on the agenda and allowing us to speak. I'm not going to repeat what everybody said before us. I'm sure you get the idea of what Locke does. We don't think a dignity for a child should be a luxury. So we're trying to provide that to all the children in our parish. We provide a clothing and a diaper bank, similar to a food bank, so that people who are in need can come and get resources from us. One thing that makes us special is our efficiency. We operate a zero-waste, volunteer-based model. We don't have bloated payrolls. We're all volunteers. We all work 40 hours a week. We all have our own jobs, but we're volunteering to do this. We don't have fancy offices. Every item gifted to us goes back to the community. Almost every dollar donated goes back to the community. Our only overhead is some essentials like insurance, keep the lights on things. Our storage units that we're currently paying for, even though they're at a reduced rate, you can imagine how many boxes of diapers and formulas we could buy with money if we didn't have to pay rent for things. And that's what we're asking you for, is to provide us a home that we can operate out of, an economic impact on our parish. When families get these essentials for free, they have more disposable income for rent and utilities, therefore reducing the risk of homelessness or poverty, lifting our children up. Public health, proper diapering, proper clothing, warm clothes, nutrition. That's going to lead to fewer emergency room visits, healthier children in our schools, better developmental outcomes. And then the community spirit, we're 100% volunteer-based, as I said. We represent the best of our city, neighbors helping neighbors. We have the items, we have the volunteers, we have the heart. We just need the space to do the work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we have Jamie Freeman.
Good evening. My name is Jamie Freeman. I'm actually one of the women that they help. I'm going to start by saying thank y'all tonight for letting me come and speak. When I first heard about Locke, I was actually at CHC Food Pantry and Closet. We were just standing there chit-chatting about life, hardships, love. She just asked me, she's like, have you ever heard of Locke? I said, no, ma'am. She got a piece of paper out, wrote the information down. Let's see, and told me to look them up on Facebook, so I did. And I'll be honest, it took a minute to connect. They were in transition at the time, and that's really part of why I'm here tonight, because transitions aren't easy. Growth isn't easy, but it's necessary. After a little while, I was able to make an appointment that worked for me. That's when I met Miss Candace. And let me tell you, that meeting was more than just an appointment. It was a blessing. I was able to get the things for my children, but it didn't stop there. I didn't just receive items. I received kindness. I received compassion. I made a connection with a wonderful woman who didn't just see a situation, she saw a family. And because of all of the women and men at Locke, and Miss Candace and her daughter especially, our Christmas was one of the best we ever had last year. And not only did they provide clothing for my children, warm winter clothing that they needed, my daughter Layla wanted one thing more than anything, and that was a bicycle. And thanks to them, she got that bike. The smile on her face, I couldn't even put into words. That moment, that joy, that's something our family will never forget. And here is what I really want y'all to hear tonight. The people at Locke give from their own pockets. From their own time, from their own homes, they pour into families like mine over and over again. Imagine what they could do with more support, especially a space. I'd actually seen the other one that they had and what they're working with now. Just imagine what they could do, how many more families they could help. Maybe in the future they could even help deliver. The possibilities are endless, but it starts with us. It starts with the community deciding that they're not going to let families struggle alone. It starts with showing our children what it looks like to give, not just when it's easy, but when it matters. Because the next step in our community is our children's generation. If they see kindness, if they are taught to lend a helping hand, if they grow up watching us serve with love and the word and share the word of God also. Just imagine what the next generation after them could become. I'm standing here today because someone chose to care, someone chose to write down a name on a piece of paper, someone chose to give, and someone chose to love. And I am so thankful. Thank y'all for letting me speak tonight.
Thank you, ma'am. And our last speaker is James and Jessica Tomapak.
Thank you for allowing us to speak tonight. I wanted to go last because you've already talked through the risks. You know what they're doing. You know that it's great work. But I wanted to talk about a gap, specifically in Ascension Parish. Nearly 40% of households are ALICE. I'm not sure if you've heard that acronym before, but it's asset constrained individuals that have income. So you're talking about our working people that are one car payment, one tire change, one illness away from falling into the poverty line. These are not people that are where they want to be, that are lazy. These are people that are working really hard. I used to be part of that, and so I know that it's a vulnerable present population. And they can't afford to miss. And so, my husband and I moved to Donaldsonville in 2021. And people said, why Donaldsonville? We came from New York. Oh, tricked you.
I thought I pushed it. It's my fault.
No, and the answer that I gave back in 2021, when we had to move here, sight unseen, in COVID, was I picked Donaldsonville and Ascension Parish because I am good at math. I majored in economics in undergrad and in information systems for my master's, and I am tremendously good at economics and at math. And we chose Donaldsonville because it was above the flood zone when we had to be in Louisiana, so it's high and dry, and it was close to some of the great things here in Gonzales and Prairieville. And because the only thing that seemed to be wrong was the economy, and I knew that we could step in, set an example, and lead from our hearts, and it would change, set precedent, and help others to lead the same way. In Donaldsonville, as of last year, when we bought a historic building, my husband and I are regular people. We were working, fortunate to have good salaries, one I gave up to throw my heart all the way into this. We bought an old building on Main Street in Donaldsonville. And Sherry, a wonderful volunteer, posted right before we closed on it and said, we're running out of space and we're trying to help children. That was pretty much all I needed to see. And I said, I'm about to close on a space, why don't you come see? I've got a little storage space in the back, y'all can use it. That was a 15 by 15 room.
30 seconds, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. They came, they saw it, we talked, and I quickly decided to give them one of the 3 retail spaces instead, 1,000 square feet. I could absolutely charge that retail space to a vendor. I could make tons more money on that. But I believe in my heart that if I show the city of Donaldsonville, that I show the parish, and I show the state that the impact matters. I've watched it matter for a year. We set the good example. We've been approached by My Community Cares, DCFS. I've been in close conversation with Louisiana Economic Development.
That's time, ma'am.
Yes, thank you for your time. Again, it's just the math.
Thank you, ma'am. We did have one more public speaker card, Miss Sherry Soper. She was for, but she didn't want to speak unless you just didn't check it.
Hi, thank you very much for having me. My name is Sherry Soper, and I am a lead volunteer for LOCK. I have been with LOCK since the beginning, and we have been working with them. My husband and I were foster parents for 10 years in Gonzales, and when Leadership Ascension decided to go on this venture, they approached me and asked if we would be involved and give feedback and help and that sort of thing, so we did that. As a lead volunteer, I want to give you a little look into, I'm not going to discuss the hundreds of children that we obviously have helped in the community. I'm going to give you an example of one so you kind of know how we operate. So I'm a shopping volunteer, and I help when someone calls and says, I need something, whether it's DCFS, parent, a need, whatever it is. One example is I had a gentleman, his name's Leonard, called me one day and said he had his 2 children dropped off to him. Their birth mother was put in jail. He was not ready for them. He worked full time. He had no ability to care for these 2 kids that have immediately come into his home. So he called me and said, what can I do? He was overwhelmed, didn't know about how to register for school, didn't have clothes. He brought them to my office. I immediately, it was a day like today, when you wake up and you need to bundle up. It was so cold outside, and these children didn't even have shoes. I immediately made an emergency appointment with Locke, just like we would for anybody else that calls. So I met him up at our Locke facility here in Gonzales. He brought his children in, and they shopped. They got shoes and coats, and the older one got uniforms, and they got toys, and they got hair products and hygiene items and all the stuff that he could possibly use. And the whole time the little girl, I was helping her, she would be like, "Can I get these boots?" And I'd say, "Ask your dad, ask your dad, ask your dad." And so it was just a shopping experience for them. He comes into my office the next day to thank me. Is that my phone? So sorry. I mean, I have my child here, so. So he comes to my office the next day. And I'm used to helping children. I'm used to the great smiles on their faces and feeling good to be helping them. But I was so happy. He came in and said that, I'm going to tear up, that they went home, and he was so proud that the kids said at least 10 times to their auntie that Dad bought them all the best things that day. And he looked at me and goes, "I know I didn't buy them." I said, "It doesn't matter, Leonard. You helped them. We were a resource. You found a resource, a legal resource, and you provided for your children." And that dignity and that ability to give them that shopping experience, that's what we're looking for. And we're just looking for community help so we can provide this to all the parents out there that, like they said, are 1 minute away from losing their children. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks for your motion.
Yeah, questions?
Somebody had a
I
question?
had some questions too. Candace, do you want to come back up?
Three of us come up, just depending on what kind of question it is.
It's basically regarding our phone conversations we had. So I talked to you a couple of times on the phone, the second time being a conference call with State Representative Kathy Edmondson.
Yes.
And I think we explained to you certain things and kind of decided the best path would be for you to do like a, maybe go to a, like the lady that owns the Donaldsonville place, business owner or entity. I got off the phone with you, and I know I spent another hour calling, I'm not going to name people, but very well-known business people in the community to try to find you a space. But yet here we are, we're back up here asking for this. Your application is for a community partnership agreement?
I mean, I wasn't sure exactly how I needed to request it, and so when I contacted the office, they said I had to fill out that application. So I don't really know. We're asking for space at the old Ascension College where we have our stuff temporarily stored. And right now, part of that building is being used for storage for the city, which it would continue to be used for storage for this for the city.
Okay, is that Suite 106 or 107?
I don't-
106 was the one.
It's the one on the very end.
Okay,
On the
all right.
very end, next to the Warman Center.
Okay.
And we would just use the portion of the building that's not being used for storage for the city. And yeah, we did talk, and I'm very thankful for the resources that y'all provided, but I know when we ended the conversation, I said it wasn't solely my decision, that the board, I had to talk with the board, and the decision was made to still come and speak to the council and try and secure a space through the city. So,
So I'm kind of thinking, I looked at it, and the first thing I thought was maybe you should have done a community endeavor agreement, but regardless, we do have space over there, and I did go over the entire application, everything in your application, some of these notes that you have here. That is a space that we could rent, okay? So I think it's 600 to 800 square feet, and
yeah, I'm not sure about the
okay.
square footage.
Well, you said you needed 1,000 square feet for our conversation, basically.
Well, I said around 1,000.
Okay,
but-
so it's at least 600 to 800 square feet, because I went to the warming center a couple of times when we had the freeze to help those guys out. So as far as rent is concerned, even if it's $600 a month, That's what we could get for that place. So $600 a month, you're looking at $7,200 in rent that you're asking, and this application maximum is only $5,000. You see? It's right under here that says maximum up to $5,000. So we do need to maybe rent that space. I looked at the rest of the application, and one of these documents here says something, I don't know if it's some kind of little bullet points that, with these check marks. Did you get this online? Maybe some kind of AI program or something?
Where?
Well, it says valid public Cabela's test, and it says valid public purpose, proportion public benefit, and then you get to key counsel defense line. And it says in here, in this case, the city receives over $600,000 annually in measurable public benefit in exchange for donated space with no cash outlay and no operational burden.
That's actually parish-wide, based off of the
Okay.
245,000, which in the PowerPoint that I sent, I actually broke it down by city and, like parish and city. And the way that I did it is the population of Gonzales is 10% of the parish population, so I did 10%.
Well, yeah, I see where it says what, how many participants or community members will benefit from this live in Gonzales, and you said 100. How many participants or community members will benefit from this live in Ascension Parish, and you said 750. Okay, so Gonzales is taking on, this is 11.76% of the city. This whole 600,000 is 11.76% the city. The parish, 750, if you'll help 750 people, that's 88.24%. Okay, so have you gone to the parish and asked them for space? Because I mean, this is like the bulk of this, 88.24%. You're helping, like I said, 750 people in the parish and 100 in the city.
Right. We service anybody that needs service. And we were right outside of the Gonzales city limits is where we were before. I reached out to the Sorrento Council, I reached out to the parish, and I reached out to the city. I reached out to all resources just saying we're in need of space. Because we do service the entire parish, but Gonzales makes up part of that, of the parish. And really, the location of the old Ascension College is perfect and centralized, where a lot of our need comes from. You know, the very last page of the PowerPoint, I didn't have the 2023, 24, or 25 numbers because I was waiting to get that. But one of our one of our board members was on vacation, so I didn't get it until today. But in 2023, we served 1,245 children. So, you know, the numbers I used are an average over the time. It's, you know, without paying rent, we would not be given a dollar amount to the city, but it talks about the avoidance costs, the things that, you know, the service that we're bringing to the community. You think about parents that don't have formula or parents that don't have diapers, they're gonna go to Walmart and they're gonna steal it because they're gonna do what they need to do to care for their child. You know, I mean, you hear about it all the time because they're desperate. And so, you know, the avoidance cost talks about, you know, decreased theft, us providing car seats and hygiene items. It's gonna reduce medical expenses and emergency room visits, which no, the city of Gonzales is not responsible to pay for that, but we all have a responsibility to help the citizens of our community. And what happens in Gonzales does impact the state and does impact, you know, our parish and how well we do financially. So no, we would not be providing rent payment to the city every month, but I think the benefit that we would provide in avoidance costs far outweighs what monthly rent would be to the city.
I have a question. How many foster children are within the city limits of Gonzales?
The last number I got was 189.
And how many certified foster care placements are in the city of Gonzales? 29. So 29 certified 400.
So that means kids in this community have to be placed outside of the community in foster homes in Houma, Thibodeau, Convent, St. John, and those parents who live in this community have to go there to visit, or somebody has to bring them here to visit, to keep that relationship together.
And we're also taking some of the burden. We got a family of 5, I think from around Marksville a few weeks ago. They brought them on an emergency placement on a Saturday, and the kids had shoes and 1 outfit. So I met them at the old Lock Gonzales location and got clothes and everything for a family of 5 that aren't even from, I mean, so we have a burden already, and we're taking on children from outside of our city as well.
Okay, let me tell you what I think.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and this is just my opinion.
Yeah.
This LOCC, is that you just give to foster parents?
No, our
Because
initial.
I'm hearing a lot about foster parents, but I don't see foster anywhere in this.
Yeah,
stuff.
we started out wanting to do a foster closet and just realized that the need was so much greater than that. A lot of what we do is provide kinship placement. So you have grandparents, aunts, uncles raising children that they had no idea that they were going to be responsible for, and they just don't. You have an 80-year-old grandmother that's retired and on a fixed income, and all of a sudden they have to pay for all of these things. So we do a lot of kinship placement, a lot of foster care. DCFS calls on us weekly, multiple times, to get things for kids that they have. And then also just people that are on hard times and can't afford the things that they need. So it's a diverse group that we help. I mean, our like I said, our main goal, one goal, is to ensure that children in our community have access to the basic essentials that they need. And it really, it may be foster children, it may not be. It's really anybody that needs it.
Okay, so the last thing is,
Yes, ma'am.
this Attorney General opinion.
Yes.
Did you get that, or did
I
somebody
did.
else?
I
You
did.
Okay.
Yeah, when I talked with you the first time and you told me about the Cabela test, I had no idea what it was. So I went back and started researching and digging, and then I saw that they had 12 exclusions to the Cabela test. So I was like-
Exceptions.
Exceptions. And I said, well, it looks like we might fit into these too. So I actually reached out to the Attorney General's office myself and said, I would like to get an opinion. This is what we're trying to do. And they said, well, we would never have it in time for you to go to the council meeting. But if you search our online database, there may be something similar. So I searched online and I found that one Attorney General's opinion, which it's not exactly what we're trying to do, but it's similar. And in that opinion, it looks like the Attorney General said it was okay. But it was.
Okay, I want to explain the
Yeah,
difference. And
sure.
it's just for the council too, just so. I pulled that opinion up and I read it, okay? The city of Tallulah,
Right.
Louisiana, gave money to the Madison Parish Council on Aging because their budget got cut, okay? So the Madison Parish Council on Aging, that is actually in the Constitution. That is, it's an extension of the government, okay? It's an extension of the government. So it's not a private charity. So you're comparing apples and oranges here. But my suggestion is, maybe what you need to do is, since DCFS is an extension of the government, maybe your organization needs to get with them about finding a space. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what this AG opinion is saying.
That's not,
Basically.
I'm not a lawyer, but that's not how I interpreted it. When
Well,
I,
okay,
know-
the city gave an extension of the government, Council on Aging, money because their budget got cut, okay? You're asking for the city of Gonzales to give a private charitable organization money, which are rent-free space. There's the difference.
But the request to the Attorney General's office was, by them not being able to reciprocate that dollar amount, does it pass the Cabela test? That's what that opinion was requesting, was the way that I read it.
No, it does pass the Cabela's test. And they actually did it through a cooperative endeavor agreement, and I'm gonna let the attorney answer that. I think you should have done a cooperative endeavor agreement, but,
Yeah, and maybe that is, I mean, I
and that's
wasn't
the way
sure.
they did it, and they're two public organizations, so,
Yeah.
I mean,
Where you was storing your stuff before, Candace?
So we had it at the Fellowship. What happened is Fellowship Church notified us probably 5 weeks before the sale and said, we're putting our property on Airline Highway up for sale. There's 2 trailers in between Prepara Lumber and Household of Faith Church on the right-hand side, if you're going towards Sorrento.
Oh, okay.
So all of our stuff had been there, and that's where we had operated out of. So 5 weeks before they put it on the market, they let us know. And when they finally put it on the market, it sold within a week because it was a cash quick sale. So they said you have 3 weeks to get out. So we had coordinated with a private citizen to have a space, a donated storage unit to put our stuff in until we could find a permanent location. And the day before we were supposed to move, that fell apart. And so I called up here, and the mayor authorized for us to put our stuff in that space because it wasn't being used, just as a holding spot.
So, Alan,
Yes, sir.
if we did it the other way, partner, cooperative, different with the states, and give y'all, say, a year to find a place. Because we usually, like Ms. Lambert said, we usually don't do this, but it to me, sounds like a good cause, and I appreciate what y'all do. If we start stuff like this, we gotta stick to. I think if we just maybe word it where we can give them time to find a private spot, and you keep using that one, would that work? I mean,
It's still over the $5,000 maximum of a
yeah, but if we
cooperative
do,
endeavor, too.
we'd give them space, even if it's not a corporate endeavor. You know what I'm saying? If we do it a different way.
So what is your question?
Like, we keep it under the 5,000 and let them find a place in the future. We could word it that way, can we?
You can. I mean, I'm not understanding what the concern is. Is it the
Like instead of
the
just
dollar
say,
amount
okay,
of the donation?
We'll give them temporary space till they find a place to stay.
So is it the dollar amount of the donation that's giving
Yeah.
you council concern?
Yeah.
So what is the value of the rent for that building? What is the
don't
city
know.
getting now? What has the city gotten from rental for that building within the last 12 months? So
I can't answer that.
the value, if there hasn't been no rental, then the value of the rental right now is zero.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and like I said, we could write it up where y'all can use it till y'all find a place. Just, I mean,
Yeah.
Because it's
I mean,
actually,
we're
I don't mean to
open.
interrupt, because my understanding is that the space that they're looking to use is now used for storage for the city.
Yes.
So there is no value unless you have rented it out, you have a value amount for that space, based upon, prior rental agreements, but it doesn't seem like the city has one because it's been used by the city just to store items. As far as the Cabela's test, whether or not the exception applies, I'm sure everybody saw my opinion to the administration that was published today, but the Constitution specifically states that nothing in this section shall prevent the use of public funds for programs of social welfare for the aid and support of the needy. So it's my opinion that the Cabela's test doesn't apply to what LOCC is trying to do. And even if the Cabela's test did apply, I do believe that all 3 prongs of the Cabela's test have been met based upon the presentation that I've read and the handouts that were provided with the agenda packet.
So the River Region Art Association used to be in Suite 106, I believe, and the rent was $800 a month, but because they had to leave Highway 30, I think the mayor at the time gave them a lower price rent because they had to move and everything. So it is capable of getting $800 a month. Nobody's pushed it. And I called a realtor Friday, and he said that office space like that goes for $1 a square foot.
But now that space is being used for storage, correct?
Yes. City storage.
is it Anthony's used for storage? Yes, sir.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I second.
Motion by Councilman Turner, second by Councilman Williams.
All right, roll call vote.
Yes.
Councilwoman Leonard?
No.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Councilman Boudreaux?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cynthia Gray James?
I'm gonna vote no, because we need to do the same for everybody. We have had other nonprofit, and we haven't done it for them.
We're gonna pass.
So I'm gonna vote no.
Motion passed.
Motion passed, thank you.
Thank y'all so much.
Yes.
Okay, number 8, adopt a resolution to accept the municipal water pollution prevention audit report and authorize necessary actions to maintain permit requirements in the Louisiana Pollution Discharge Elimination System, LPDES permit. And Mr. Darren can come up and have any questions, explain any questions y'all might have.
Good evening. Hey, Darren Gotro, wastewater supervisor. We do an annual audit every year, and within that audit, we have certain lift stations that need to be rehabbed. We do it by priority. Throughout the year, we check lift stations to make sure which ones are bad, which ones are not working, which ones are not efficient. The list we have is certain ones that we found that need to be improved. These lift stations are 20 to 25 plus years old, and if you don't rehab and fix them, you will have sewer on the ground, but you don't want to have them. You don't want to be DEQ to be involved, the EPA to be involved. But the list we have a list of 8 lift stations. We're not going to do these each year. We can only do about maybe 1 or 2 a year. So the list that you're seeing is not that, we're not going to do all this in 1 year. Don't get worried about that. We did one last year, and we're probably not going to do another one, so that'll be a carryover for next year. So that's kind of, if you saw they had 8, don't worry, we can't do 8 in 1 year. We'll do 1 or 2 a year. And this is on a 5-year project plan. So if you look at it, it's on it. When we do audit, they say, what can you do in 5 years? These are the ones that we're trying to get done within the next 5 years. We will find other ones, this year we might find another one. And as we fix one, we'll delete it off the list for next year. So that's kind of what this resolution is about.
So that's like on a emergency basis right now? We need to fix it?
The ones, we got certain ones, yes. Because we've been working with them over and over, they just not being efficient. Mechanical stuff breaks on them, so you have to rehab them.
Are any of these in the budget from the,
Yes.
from that grant we got last year?
No, I think 43, that is what I want to do. That might be in that budget.
Okay.
But some are a carryover from last year.
Okay. What about the exhaust valves? Are most of those raised yet, or?
We raised 2 of them, and I'm waiting to raise another one. And the way I figured out I'm going to save money by raising, instead of raising them above the metal cover, we're going to just kind of raise them up about a foot, which will work out, which will save a lot of money too.
Okay.
So, and it did work. It worked great. Just one and worked perfectly.
Because we got flooding season coming up.
Yes,
so.
I know. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
So, but y'all stayed on top of all this before,
Yes,
huh?
sir. Yes, we do. We don't want DEQ or EPA on our
No, I know.
messing with us. Trust me.
Okay.
We try to stay on the good side.
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution.
A second.
We have a motion by Councilman Boudreaux, second by Councilman Williams.
Roll call vote, Councilman Turner?
Yes.
Councilwoman Leonard?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Councilman Boudreaux?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cynthia Gray James?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Darren.
You're welcome.
Moving on to number 9, discussion of a resolution approving provisions of Louisiana Revised Statute 33-2536.B1C, Fire Department Civil Service Board Representative. And Mr. Preston will explain.
Good evening, Council. So with our latest round of promotions, since I've been formally appointed fire chief, our board member, Mr. Bryce Broussard, has gotten promoted to district chief, which per state law, he now has to leave his spot on the board. So Similar to what we did when Bryce was appointed, what we're asking for through the state law is to first come to the council and ask that we remove the residency requirement that requires the fire department representative to be a resident of the city. This is something we did about 5 years ago or so when Bryce took over as a representative. And it allows the department representative to be any one of the full-time employees. And we'll host an election and bring the election results back to you for certification. So this is the first step. We're asking to remove this residency requirement as the state law requires us to do so that we can begin the process of selecting Bryce's replacement since he's been promoted.
Okay.
Make the motion to approve.
A second.
We have a motion by Councilman Turner, second by Councilman Williams.
Roll call vote, Councilman Turner?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lambert?
Yes.
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Councilman Boudreaux?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cynthia Gray Jones?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Preston. Okay, number 10, financial report, Mr. Jacob Wagerspack.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and Council. I want to give you updates on three matters tonight. First off, budget. We have started the budget process with administration. I'm currently meeting with department heads through this week. Should have a fairly solid draft of the proposed budget for you sometime in the next week or two. At that point in time, we will be inviting all council to meet individually with administration to go over the budget, and if they want to see something different in there, we can have those discussions at that point in time. So that is in process. This puts us about 3 months ahead of what we were last year in terms of getting that document to you for review. So that's budget. Second item is the audit. So our audit from May of 2025, we got an extension with the due date of the end of this month, February 28th, which is this Friday. I've been in contact with the auditing firm over the last 2 weeks. It is now under their quality control review, which is basically the last step in that process. They need, to my understanding, they need nothing else from management except some correspondence. That's just part of the process to wrap it up. I'd anticipate them to be completing and issuing that audit by the end of the week and presenting to you in one of next month's meetings. So we will have to coordinate that effort. And then lastly, we did provide you with the latest financial statements in your packet this month. We are working diligently every day to get those caught up as best as we can. You know, with the turnover that we have experienced in finance department, every day is a new day and a new challenge, and we're working through those. But things are operating. Things are getting pushed forward. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
So they're gonna have the audit ready Friday? I mean,
That's my understanding. Yep.
So is he gonna come do a presentation?
He will come do a presentation at one of the next meetings, correct?
The next meeting? Okay.
Typically, the auditors will come and
Okay.
present their results upon completion. So,
any other questions?
Thank you.
all right.
Thank you, Jacob. Okay, number 11, engineering report, Mr. Jarrett.
All right, thank you, Mayor and Council. So my report today will center on the usual projects. So Freeland Jackson, update for everybody. We're looking at a substantial completion of May 3rd is the date. So we are drastically close to that. So looking forward to that wrapping up. No major issues to report so far. Worked through the general things with construction projects. But no major issues. Everything's going smoothly. Looking forward to that May 3rd date. Our Lady of the Lake Connector, as I mentioned last time, it's advertising, so we're still on good track there. We should be opening bids on March 4th. Same thing for Kennedy Heights, because they're on the same advertisement track. So Councilman Turner, March 4th, we're opening bids there as well. And then the City of Gonzales Master Comprehensive Plan. Next step really on that is Wagner right now is developing survey questionnaires that will be put out to the community for their feedback. So right now, they're developing those questions for review. Once those are complete, we'll be working with the city and Wagner to either put them on the website or some other level of social media involvement to get the public's input. So we'll be looking forward to that. Certainly let you guys know when those go out. So other than that, any questions, I will take them, but that is my update.
Jared, on that comprehensive plan,
Uh-huh.
are they using any of the stuff that we have used in our old master
For
plan?
the first plan?
Because
So
that was a good one too.
that was 2015,
Yeah.
I want to say off the top of my head. So that plan did form the basis of what they reviewed, right? That was kind of where they started, is reviewing that plan. We do expect some comments from them on what worked and did not work as part of that plan, but they really are focusing on just moving forward, administration, council priorities, what the public wants now that they hope these survey questions will bring out. That's it. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jared.
Yes.
Number 12, DPW report, Mr. Roosevelt Vessel.
Good
evening, all. I'd just like to say a few things. We got a lot of things going on here in the city. The guys are busy, all the departments are busy. Like in the morning, I gotta check on a tree being cut down on West Worthy. Then I gotta look at putting a fire hydrant on the corner of South 8 and West Worthy, because we had a fire there last night, and Fire Chief Preston Landry didn't have a fire hydrant at the spot that he needed, so he had to run 600 foot of hose to fight that fire. So what I'm saying that to say this: when we come to y'all, or I come to y'all for some help with different things, I ask y'all to work with us, because we got a lot of things going on. We got an aging infrastructure, and we're gonna need y'all help to try to get this stuff straight and keep things going. So that's all I'm asking, because like I'm saying, I don't know what it's gonna cost to put a fire hydrant and stuff there, but we're gonna look to do that because he needs that. So y'all see what I'm saying? Like when I come and ask for something, or the city as a whole asks for something, it's something we really need. It's not like we're trying to waste money. That's not what we're trying to do. So like Darren said earlier with his department, think about it. We done had 3 24-inch force mains that have broken. They're old. You see what I'm saying? So that was like $200 and some thousand or something like that. I don't forgot the numbers, but it's up there. So that's what I'm saying. When we come to y'all for help or whatever, we asking y'all to work with us, because it's very important. Like he said earlier, we can't have that sewer running on the ground, because we don't want no trouble with DEQ. We don't want no trouble with EPA, and we definitely don't want no trouble with LDH, with our water department. So we're trying to keep this stuff going and doing the best we can with what we have. But they were saying, we got Wagner looking at different things, and we got ideas, but we're gonna need y'all help to put these things into fruition to make things better, because we got an aging water system out there, we got an aging sewer system, the roads and different things. We got plans, but we just gonna need y'all help to get that stuff done. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Ro. Number 13, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Thank you.